We're killing the earth, and that's really fun. No one believes us because we are young. Our forests are turning to ash in a second. Ask California, they'll tell you about it. They'll tell you how they have lost all their homes while Trump turns a blind eye and tweets on his phone. Global warming's an expensive little hoax for the last time. This is not a joke. Our factories are working and toxins emitting. The ozone is crumbling and we won't stop putting chemicals in what we're trying to breathe. Our future is stolen and we are the thieves. Sea levels are rising and icebergs are melting. The coral reefs are dying and no one is helping. Do you realize they keep the oceans alive? This started back in 1985. Don't come to me when your child can't think of what a tiger is cause they're extinct. Don't cry to me when your fur coat ain't clean. The endangered list is now 41,416. Dear 2045, I don't think we're gonna survive. If you end up hearing this story, I just want to say, I'm sorry.
We begin in Australia, where the new year brings no relief from the catastrophe caused by bushfires.
Almost looking like a nuclear bomb as it incinerated the forest, a tiny dose of water turning into a steam.
Have you ever seen conditions as bad as this before?
Indonesia's capital, Jakarta, is once again submerged underwater after heavy rainfall. The National Disaster Mitigation Agency has reported over 87 floods in Jakarta alone.
In a dramatic escalation of tensions in the Middle East, a US airstrike has killed Iran's most important military commander. General Qasem Soleimani was the commander of the Quds force of Iran's elite revolution.
We took action last night to stop a war. We caught him in the act and terminated him.
That Iran has launched multiple missiles at Iraq's Al-Assad airbase. This attack is believed to be in retaliation for the U.S. drone strike that killed Iran's top general.
A Ukrainian passenger jet plane has crashed shortly after takeoff from Tehran, killing at least 170 passengers and crew.
The Taal volcano in the Philippines has thrown molten rock into the sky, triggering official warnings that a hazardous eruption of toxic gas may be imminent.
Avalanches in Pakistan-administered Kashmir have killed at least 57 people within the last 24 hours. Officials also say many villagers were left stranded by avalanches.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus.
In Turkey, where at least 22 people are now dead and more than 900 injured after an earthquake in the east of the country.
That retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
So there it is. The UK has left the European Union. 47 years of history brought to an end in the name of sovereignty and independence.
From flames to flash floods, the orange haze that had taken over the city's skyline, now cloudy grey.
Parts of northeastern Delhi have been left a smouldering wreck. Cars have been torched and businesses burned to the ground.
Global hot zones, the coronavirus spreading.
Fears grow of a global pandemic.
The number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased.
A huge spike in cases in Italy. Hundreds of cases in South Korea. New cases reported in Europe.
There are now more than 118,000 cases in 114 countries.
The CDC warned Americans to be prepared here at home, that it's not a matter of if, But when?
At least 17 people were killed and over 20 others sustained injuries when a gas pipeline exploded in Abule Ado area in Lagos.
Visakhapatnam has indeed left all of us shocked. Major gas leak that took place at LG Polymer plant in Visakhapatnam that killed at least 8 people.
Pakistan, a passenger plane has crashed in a residential area near Karachi.
They came to demand change, despite a deadly virus, despite the dangers of large crowds, and despite warnings to stay away. Organised under the rallying cry of Black Lives Matter, and in the shadow of the anti-racism leaders that have gone before them.
The 2020 Summer Olympics, now the latest major sports cancellation caused by the global COVID-19 pandemic.
The 2020 Olympic Games, scheduled for late July into early August of this year in Tokyo, will be postponed for a year because of the coronavirus pandemic.
Around the world, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases stands at 4,444,670.
India says at least 20 of its soldiers were killed in a clash with Chinese forces. Tensions between the two sides have been building over the last month, but this is the first incident with fatalities in more than 4 decades.
They can't fight this virus. They're digging thousands upon thousands of graves in the city of Sao Paulo. More than 13,000 to plan.
We are projecting global growth in 2020 to fall to minus 3%. The Great Lockdown, the worst recession since the Great Depression, and far worse than the global financial crisis.
Now, in news that's shocked the entire Indian film industry, one of Bollywood's finest actors, Sushant Singh Rajput, is no more.
Sorry, busy was.
Sit.
This was the first, coming just after 6 in the evening at Beirut's main port, sending up a plume of thick smoke. Beneath it, fires raging and flashes of light, filmed by nearby residents. None of them could have guessed what would happen next. A second massive explosion, which some described as like an earthquake.
Major fire now has broken out at Ajman Market area in Dubai.
All waking up to the devastating and shocking news that actor Chadwick Boseman has died.
Here in Sweden after that burning of a Quran, and also they were kicking around the Quran in Malmo. That obviously caused major riots.
The world surpassing 1 million deaths from the coronavirus.
Clashes broke out at an anti-Islam rally in the Norwegian capital of Oslo, prompting authorities to end the event early on. The tensions came to a head when a female protester ripped pages from the Islamic religious book.
Is 22 people, mostly Air Force cadets, have been killed in a military plane crash in Ukraine on Friday. Ukrainian military aircraft and Antonov 26 burst into flames while landing, killing 22 people.
And in the last few minutes, President Trump has tweeted saying that he and the First Lady have tested positive for COVID-19.
There is hope that by the end of this year, we may have a vaccine.
Armenia and Azerbaijan, two former Soviet territories, have been locked in conflict for 32 years over a piece of disputed territory. There was a stalemate until recently, and now there's a chance that world powers may be thrust into this crisis that has already resulted in hundreds of deaths.
Protests in Jakarta have escalated as anger grows over a controversial new jobs law.
I guess I could be pretty pissed off about what happened to me, but it's hard to stay mad when there's so much beauty in the world. Sometimes I feel like I'm seeing it all at once, and it's too much. My heart fills up like a balloon that's about to burst. And then I remember to relax and stop trying to hold on to it. And then it flows through me like rain. And I can't feel anything but gratitude for every single moment of my stupid little life. You have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But don't worry. You will someday.